This is where Montana talks.
Yeah, Billings Police Chief Rich St. John said Thursday that the Billings Police and law enforcement in Yellowstone County will not be writing citations for people who don't wear masks. So there you go. They will not be writing citations for people who do not wear masks. The Montana sheriffs, several of whom I should count up how many sheriffs are on this list, but there's over a dozen here. County sheriffs across Montana saying that the statewide face covering order from the governor is a public health directive. The directive is not a mandate for law enforcement to issue citations and arrest violators. This is on top of the Lake County Sheriff's Office who put their plea out on social media yesterday, talking about their 911 dispatch center being overloaded with calls and saying, look, this is not deemed an emergency. So not only don't call our emergency line, don't call the non-emergency number either. Law enforcement will not be dispatched to these calls. Stop wasting their time. They have much more. They've got people actually dying of car accidents. They've got people actually dying of heart attacks, actually dying of a number of other things, dying from the meth epidemic and the violent crime that has sprung out as a result of that. They have more important things to be doing than to be wasting their time answering your stupid phone calls, trying to report on your neighbor or some business because you don't think they're following the governor's mask order. Look, just because some little despot in his little office in Helena, Montana, thinks that everybody from Ekalaka to Eureka should be wearing a face mask per the governor's orders, doesn't mean it's enforceable. And just because you want to go around and punch everybody poke everybody in the chest and poke everybody in the eye and violate all sorts of social distancing guidelines because you want to tell them what you think they should be doing does not mean that it can be enforced by the law. So stop wasting their time with your phone calls. And why don't you move on to more important things in life? Why don't you go find a charity to support? Why don't you go find a cause to be a part of that actually builds up our communities instead of just trying to divide people all along? Here's the first. I want to read again the first line, the very first line in this opinion editorial, because I think this is very interesting. To me, this is the bigger picture here, folks. Why is it that the same people, some of the same people, not all, but why is it that some of the same people who want to mandate face masks, who want to turn this country and turn this state and turn your city into a police state, why is it the same people who want to turn your town into a police state want to defund the police? We've talked about this before, right? Why? Okay, I can see everybody, you already know the answer to this one. They want to defund the police, but yet also want a police state. If they want to have a police state that ignores civil liberties, that ignores the freedoms that you are afforded as an American, your God-given rights, if they are going to have a police state that ignores your God-given rights, well, they need police and they need sheriff's deputies who don't follow the Constitution to enforce their police state. So they need to take away what we currently have so that they can rebuild it in their own image, what the police will look like. This is the first line in this opinion editorial from these Montana sheriffs. Sheriffs take an oath to support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Montana. We will uphold our oath. First couple of sentences here from this. I remember saying this on this show when we were talking about the defund the police movement. Many of you were calling in and saying, answering this question, why is it that the same people who want to defund the police, the same people who are attacking our police and other law enforcement personnel, also want to create a police state? And I made the point, I said, well, look, our current law enforcement personnel, sheriffs, deputies, police officers, federal law enforcement, they swear an oath to support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. If you swear an oath, and if you believe in that oath, and if you follow that oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, you wouldn't make America a police state. You wouldn't make Bozeman a police state. You wouldn't make Billings a police state. You wouldn't make Montana a police state. You wouldn't make America a police state.